skip one, next one, half double crochet, half double crochet in the skipped stitch. You should be left with just one stitch left over remaining. You're going to half double crochet in that last stitch. And that's it. You've just closed off row 2. Row 2 is done. Okay, to move on to row 3, you're going to chain 2. And this is the repeat pattern for every single row here on out to finish your project. After every single row, you will chain 2. 1, 2. You will turn your work. Every single row, you will put one half double crochet in the very first stitch. Great. And then continue on doing the half double crochet cross stitch pattern for every single row. It's just repeat, repeat, repeat. Pretty easy. So yarn over, gonna skip one, next one, half double crochet, and then half double crochet in the skipped stitch. Skip one, next one, half double crochet, and half double crochet in the skipped stitch. Now again, the longer you make this blanket, you're gonna have to be mindful to pay attention to your stitches and not use a stitch 2 times. This is something that happened to me a couple times. And so when you reach the very end of your blanket, if you're left with 2 stitches, you know that you accidentally skipped or added too many stitches here in the rest of the work. Because when you get to the very end of your work, you should be left with only 1 stitch remaining, and that 1 stitch is where you put your last half double crochet before you chain 2 to turn, okay? So it's a good way to gauge your work. This is one of those blanket projects that after you get the rhythm, you really don't need to count every single row, which is amazing, making this blanket one of those really nice, relaxing blankets that you can just go. But I do highly suggest that every couple of rows, you give it a count. And the count you are looking for is going to be the same number of stitches that were in row 1. So for example, my row 1 had 18 stitches. So my row 2, my row 3, and my row 4 should all have 18 stitches, okay? And that just counting every few rows will help you to eliminate getting through the blanket, and halfway through, you're noticing that your blanket is starting to angle or be off, and it helps you to eliminate which rows were on target and where you can see you got off target, okay? It really helps. So last stitch, 1 half double crochet, row 3 is done. And that's it. Now how do you end the row? Last row of the blanket is your choice. You can choose to just continue this half double crochet cross stitch pattern all the way up to the last row and then tie off your yarn and be finished. Or you can choose to have your very last row be a row of half double crochets, just 1 half double crochet stitch in each stitch if you want, but honestly, you really can't see that this is just a row of half double crochets pronounced enough to try to create symmetry. So I'm gonna let that be up to you on what you wanna do for row, or for your very last row, okay? I do, however, wanna show you if you're working this blanket and you run out of yarn, what you can do. Yep, I am going to be showing you how to do the invisible knot trick. If you have already done the invisible knot, you already know how to do the invisible knot, you can skip this little section, but it's really fast. Okay, so let's say, I'm gonna cut my yarn off right here. There we go. Okay, let's say you're crocheting, and you're getting to the end of your skein. You're running out of yarn and you need to attach more yarn to keep going with your project. Here's what you're going to do. Take the yarn that you're running out of that's attached to your project and stretch it out that direction. Take your brand new skein of yarn that you want to add to your project. Have that yarn go in that direction. Butt them up against each other. Take this side, 2 fingers, wrap them around your 2 fingers. Take the little tail here, wrap it over between your 2 fingers and have it come out facing towards your fingernails. Pull, and it'll create a little notch on this side. Let's make our way over to the other section. 2 fingers, wrap around your 2 fingers. Little tail, take the tail over between your fingers and have it poke out towards your fingernails. Take that side, pull so it forms a little knot there. You got a knot here, you got a knot here. Take this yarn, pull, and this forms the very strong invisible knot that isn't going anywhere. It's super strong. Take your scissors. You can actually cut these tails really close to the knot and it doesn't go anywhere. I've tried this, I've used this multiple times, and that knot is good. Okay, there we go. And then you continue your project without skipping a beat. So let me get through this section, get to that join. Because you're using the same color yarn, here, let me get there. Perfect, okay, stopping. Turning my work over. There's the join. There's the little knot, but it's camouflaged. You can't find it, you can't see it because the yarn is the exact same color. It's also this really nice bulky yarn. So now you can continue on with your work without having any ends to weave in. Yes! And without having anything to address at the end of the project except for your beginning tail and your end tail. That's it. Isn't that a beautiful thing? All right, so now you are off and continuing making your blanket. Stay tuned right after this for the chart so you can decide which blanket you want to make and how much yarn you're gonna need for it and how many foundation row chains approximately that you're gonna need and approximately how many rows you're gonna need to complete your blanket. It is honestly the softest blanket ever. It's amazing, makes for a fantastic gift for an adult, for a baby, for a child, teen. You're gonna love this, I promise. All right, you have a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Well, that's it. That's how you make the Sugar Plum Fairy blanket. I hope you had a lot of fun. If you did, you might also really enjoy these videos right here. Also check out this video, which is just a recommended video for you to watch. Thank you so much for crocheting with me, spending time with me today. I always love crocheting with you.